Hey everybody, I'm back from my little hiatus. I'm coming back because certain events that have recently come to pass have had me sit with this question, and I thought it would be also worthwhile to bring it up to you and let you also consider that for yourselves. Yeah, I say that every time. Well, the point is to get you engaged in this and have you practice that as well. The what I wanted to discuss is this toxic conversations that we tend to get engaged in, whether consciously or unconsciously, automatically, and it happens all the time. However, the recent events that have come to pass in my personal life really have brought this to light. Vitriol is the word of the day for this. A lot of people I have observed engage in this kind of vitriolic, venomous, toxic talk about other people. Of course, it is about other people. You may not be aware that you've engaged in this, or maybe you do. Maybe you are that person who spreads this kind of toxic talk about other people. Now, if this is vibing with you, which it should, because everybody at one time or another has engaged in this kind of behavior, whether being aware or not, think about the fact about your motivations. What motivations can drive someone to say stuff like that? Is it purely based on observation? Or is it your impression of your observation? Let me say that again. Your impression of the observation. We tend to form judgments right away about things we observe in all kinds of circumstances, in every situation in our lives. Now, when it comes to people we call friends, acquaintances, more in the social circles, this gets a bit dicier because we are more involved, perhaps emotionally, in this stuff. And, our egos being our egos, are the ones that tend to take things personally and run with it. Now, I want to invite you to really sit with this question. What is the motivation behind saying things about people? Say somebody really ticked you off. Somebody seems to be pulling away from you. Somebody, just a change behavior from someone that you consider either friends or acquaintance or whatever, but someone you see socially. Have you talked to them? Have you asked them what the reason is, or are you just forming these opinions because you just think this is the reason? My bet is that the chances are that most of the time it's your judgment, it's your observation of what's happened. Take the time to find out. And also think about how you perceive things. Are you in this victim role? Oh, everybody's doing things to me. I've talked about this subject before, so I'm not going to go on about it, but it is a motivator. Is it that important to you to be liked that you have to have company by speaking toxically about someone to so many people? And if you are the one hearing the toxic stuff, are you the kind of person who accepts it readily? Or there is at least another side to the story? Have you noticed that how easy it is for people to accept something negative about someone, but not the positive. It's true. It's really true. It happens everywhere, not just in this small social circle, everywhere. If you say something negative about someone, I mean, this is why all the gossip magazines are formed. People just coming up with ideas without even bothering to find out what the actual reason is. Well, I'm here to remind you that no one, and I mean no one, has the right to sit in judgment of anyone. And I mean this mainly, mostly socially. It applies globally too, but when we see cruelty being done, we understand that as cruel. But when you bring it to a small scale, why repeat that behavior towards somebody else? So somebody doesn't want to be with you anymore, for example, if that's your motivation of getting upset. So what? So what? Sit with that for yourself and find out, why is it important to you? What difference does that make in your life if somebody doesn't like you? Not everyone can always like everybody, but instead of spreading venom, you can just pull back and say, you know what? Something must be really bothering them, and even if I have talked to them and it's no good, it's okay. I'm just gonna walk away. It's easy to be kind to the people you like. If you can be kind to the people you don't like, that's where the growth is. And it's worth the time. It's worth the time. So I want to invite you to really sit with this question and find out if you are engaged in a performance or living your life. Are you giving a performance, or are you being genuine? Really, sit with this honestly and come up with the answer. And if the answer feels like a performance, that you realize that, oh, wait a minute, I am giving a performance, then it's really worth exploring. I'm not talking about the different roles we're playing, in our day-to-day lives. Mother, wife, husband, father, all those kinds of roles. I'm not talking about those. It's a lot deeper than that. It's worth getting to know you and becoming the better version of yourself. We can all spread the light this way, open our hearts. We don't have to all be best friends, but we can spread light toward each other. This is how we change things, by looking within our own selves and changing what we don't appreciate. Well, to first notice those anyway. If you find this helpful, please share it with your friends. The topic is important enough that perhaps we can bring awareness to it as much as possible. And you can watch this on my YouTube as well, The Core Shift. Until next time, namaste.